Good morning all. In the today's lecture we will see the remaining part of number systems. In the previous lecture we have seen the basic definition of number system and the basics of number system, that is base or radix, and the different types of number systems, that is decimal number system, binary number system, octal number system. And in today's lecture we will see something about hexadecimal number system and the conversion of hexadecimal number system to decimal, binary, and all these things. The main objective of this session is to know what is an hexadecimal number and converting the hexadecimal number to binary and vice versa, and also converting the decimal to hexadecimal and vice versa. So coming to the hexadecimal numbers, it is a weighted code, as you already know. The earlier as we discussed, the decimal number system, binary number system, and octal number systems are also weighted codes. In the similar manner, hexadecimal number systems is also a weighted code, weighted number system, and the base of radix of hexadecimal number system is 16. That means hexadecimal number system consists of 16 distinct symbols, and the 16 distinct symbols are 0 to 9. Total it becomes 10 digits, and the remaining 6 symbols are capital alphabets A to F. So 0 to 9, that becomes 10, and A to F becomes 6. So total 10 plus 6 distinct symbols are there in hexadecimal number system. So after reaching 9 in hexadecimal number system, we continue counting, as after 9 it will be A, B, C, D, E, and F. So this becomes the 16 distinct symbols in hexadecimal number system. So this hexadecimal number system is mainly used or used extensively in microprocessor or microcontroller based systems. Next we will see the conversion of hexadecimal number to binary number, how to convert the given hexadecimal number into its equivalent binary number. So in order to convert the hexadecimal number into a binary number, first, given hexadecimal number, you need to replace the each hexadecimal digit with its equivalent binary equivalent. You need to convert the given hexadecimal digit to its 4-bit binary equivalent. So that means for each and every hexadecimal digit starting from 0 to 9 as well as A to F, there is some predefined 4-bit binary equivalent for each and every hexadecimal digit. So replacing the hexadecimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit binary will result into conversion of hexadecimal number to binary number. So these are the corresponding binary numbers corresponding to the hexadecimal digits starting from 0 to 9 and A to F. So if you observe 0 to 9, so the 0 corresponding binary equivalent will be all 4 zeros, and for 1 it will be 0001, and for 2 it will be 0010, and for 3 it will be 0011, and so on, and for 9 it will be 1001, and for A it will be 1010, and so on, and for F it will be all ones. So these are the corresponding 4-bit binary equivalent for a given hexadecimal number. So simply replacing the hexadecimal number with its 4-bit binary equivalent will result into the conversion of hexadecimal number to binary number. Next we will see an example of converting hexadecimal number to binary number. So in the example I have considered the hexadecimal number as 9AF.3. That point is nothing but here hexadecimal point. In the case of decimal it will be decimal point, in the case of binary it will be binary point, in the case of octal it will be octal point, and in the case of hexadecimal it will be hexadecimal point. So hexadecimal digits are now 9AF.3. So simply replacing the hexadecimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit binary. So for 9 it will, for 3 it will be 0011, and for F it will be 4 ones, and for A it will be 1010, and for 9 it will be 1001. So this will be the corresponding binary number for a given hexadecimal number 9af.3. So this is the procedure we need to adopt for converting hexadecimal number to binary number. Next, the opposite conversion. Given a binary number, we need to convert it into hexadecimal number. For that, what you need to do, again, a given binary number can be converted into hexadecimal number by grouping the given binary number into group of 4 bits. By grouping given binary number into group of 4 bits, because if you are having 4 bits, each group of 4 bits, then replacing that 4 bit binary into its equivalent hexadecimal digit, that becomes conversion of binary number to hexadecimal number. If you are not able to group 4 bits binary, then you need to add zeros onto the left side as well as zeros onto the right side in order to make group of 4 bits exactly. So replace each group by its equivalent hexadecimal digit, and I'm taking the example of binary number to hexadecimal number conversion. So for example, I am considering the binary number as 1011001001. So first I need to divide this binary number into group of 4 bits from the left side. That means with reference to the hexadecimal point, I am doing the grouping of 4 bits binary. So first 4 bits will be 1001, and next 4 bits will be 0011, and the remaining 2 bits are 01. And in order to make this 2 bits 01 as 4 bits, I need to add 00 to the left side. I need to add 00 to the left side. So by adding zeros on left side, it becomes last 2 bits also becomes 4 bits, so that you can replace that it with its equivalent hexadecimal digit. So correspondingly the hexadecimal number will become like this. So for 1001 it will be 9, and for 1100 it will be C, and for 0010 it will be 2. So 2C9 is the corresponding hexadecimal number for a given binary number. So this is the procedure of converting a binary number to hexadecimal number. So a given fractional binary number can be converted into hexadecimal number similarly by grouping the given binary number into 4 bits. So instead of considering integer binary, now I am considering fractional binary, so that you can append zeros to the right side. Now for integers you can append zeros to the left side, and for fractional binary numbers, you can append the zeros to the right side in order to make all the group of 4 bits, all the given in order to make the given binary number into a group of 4 bits. So it is like this 0 point. So first it will be 1011, and next it will be 0010, and the remaining 01 will be appended with 2 zeros like this, so that it becomes 4 bits, group of 4 bits binary. So replacing the each group of 4 bits with its equivalent hexadecimal digit will give you conversion of binary number to fractional binary number to fractional hexadecimal number. So that will be 1011 means B, 0010 means 2, 0100 means 4. So the corresponding binary number. So B24 is the corresponding binary hexadecimal number for a given binary number. So this is the procedure of converting given binary number into hexadecimal number. So I repeat once again the conversion of first hexadecimal to binary, and then binary to hexadecimal. So first, how to convert hexadecimal to binary? First you need to take the hexadecimal number and replacing the each hexadecimal digit with its equivalent binary. Replacing each hexadecimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit binary will result in conversion of hexadecimal number to binary number. I am repeating once again. Replacing the each hexadecimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit binary. Replacing each hexadecimal digit with its equivalent 4-bit binary will result into conversion of hexadecimal number to binary. Next, coming to the binary to hexadecimal, you given a binary number, you have to divide the binary number into group of 4 bits. You have to divide the binary number. First you have to divide the binary number into group of 4 binary bits, and after dividing the binary number into a group of 4 binary bits and replacing that 4 group of 4 binary bits with its equivalent hexadecimal digit will result in conversion of binary number to hexadecimal number, whether it is integer part or fractional part. This is the procedure. Simply replacing the group of 4-bit binary with its equivalent hexadecimal digit will result in conversion of binary number to hexadecimal number. We have already seen the procedure. Next type of conversion is decimal to hexadecimal conversion. So how to convert a given decimal number into its equivalent hexadecimal number? Again, the same procedure that we have adopted earlier as well. In order to convert decimal to other number system, you need to divide that decimal number with its equivalent base or radix number. So for example, if you want to convert decimal to binary, you need to divide the decimal number with 2 continuously until you get the quotient 0 and remainder as 1. Similarly, if you want to convert decimal to hexadecimal, you have to divide the decimal number continuously with 16 until you get the quotient as 0. That is the same procedure. Here also we are adopting the same procedure of converting decimal to hexadecimal conversion. So again, we need to take the example. For example, I am considering the decimal number as 873. How to divide? So it will be 873 divided by 16. You'll be getting the quotient as 54 and remainder as 7, and you'll be getting the quotient as 54 and remainder as 7, and again dividing 54 with 16, you'll be getting the quotient as 3 and remainder as 6, and again you'll be getting 3 by 16 will give you 0 quotient and 3 remainder. So the answer of hexadecimal number will be 367. So 873 decimal will be equivalent to 873 decimal will be equivalent to 367 hexadecimal. Okay, we will see one more example. The decimal number I am considering now is 1234. So 1234 is the decimal number for which we need to find out its hexadecimal equivalent number. So for that, again the same procedure. 1234 will be divided with 16, so that you will be getting 77 as quotient and 2 as remainder. Next, 77 by 16 will give you 4 quotient and remainder will be what? 14. So that 14 equivalent hexadecimal number will be D. Okay, so after 9, 10 will be equivalent to A, 11 will be equivalent to B, 12 will be equivalent to C, and 13 will be equivalent to D, 14 will be equivalent to E, 15 will be equivalent to F. So since you got D, that means here you will be getting the remainder as 13, which is the equivalent for 13 for 13 decimal, the hexadecimal equivalent will be capital D. So again, dividing the 4 with 16, you will be getting quotient as 0 and remainder as 4, and the answer will be 4D2. So 1234 decimal will be equivalent to 4D2 hexadecimal. So this is the procedure of converting decimal number to hexadecimal number. and same. Next, for fractional part of converting decimal number to hexadecimal number. So given a fractional decimal number, how to convert it into equivalent hexadecimal number. So in the case of integer part, you have divided the decimal number with 16, and in the case of fractional part, you need to multiply the decimal number with 16. That is the only difference. So for example, I am considering the decimal number as 0.5. I'm considering decimal number as 0.5. So if you are multiplying this 0.5 with 16, you'll be getting 8.0. Again, you need to consider fractional. Since there is no fraction, so it will be 0.8 itself is the equivalent hexadecimal number corresponding to the decimal 0.5. So this is the procedure of converting the fractional decimal number into its equivalent fractional hexadecimal number. So for integer part, you are dividing the decimal number with 16 continuously until you get the quotient as 0, and for fractional part, you are multiplying the fractional part, the decimal fractional part, with 16. That is the only difference. So this is the procedure of converting decimal to hexadecimal. Once again, we will see how to convert the decimal number into hexadecimal. So in the case of decimal to hexadecimal, first you need to, for integer part, first you need to divide the decimal number with 16 continuously until you get the quotient as 0. First you need to divide the decimal number with 16 continuously or repeatedly until you get the quotient as 0. That is the procedure, and you need to write the remainder in the opposite way. That is the procedure of converting the given decimal number into its equivalent hexadecimal number. So for example, I am considering the same previous example 1 2 3 4. Dividing 1 2 3 4 with 16, you will be getting 77 as quotient and 2 as remainder, and further dividing 77 with 16, you will be getting 4 as quotient and d, that is 13 decimal, as remainder, and dividing 4 with 16, you will be getting 0 as quotient and 4 as remainder. So the answer for decimal to hexadecimal 1 2 3 4 decimal will be equivalent to 4d2 hexadecimal. So this is the procedure. This is for integer part, and for fractional part, we will see for fractional part as well. For fractional part, instead of dividing the decimal number with 16 continuously, you need to multiply the fractional decimal number with 16. That is the only difference. So for a given decimal number 0.5, you will be getting 8.0, and since there is no fractional after multiplication of 16, then directly you can write 0.8 is the equivalent hexadecimal number corresponding to the decimal 0.5. Next, we will move on to the quiz pertaining to this session. What is the base of hexadecimal number system? So by default, you can directly say it will be 16, option C. So on a whole, we have discussed about hexadecimal number system. What is hexadecimal number system? What is radix? Base or radix of hexadecimal number system is 16 because it consists of 16 distinct symbols, 0 to 9 and A to F. And we have also seen various conversions from hexadecimal to decimal, decimal to hexadecimal, hexadecimal to binary, and vice versa. So for hexadecimal to decimal, we have considered positional weights, and for decimal to hexadecimal, you need to repeatedly divide by 16, and for hexadecimal to binary, you need to make the binary numbers into group of 4 bits and replacing it with its hexadecimal digits will give you conversion of hexadecimal to binary and vice versa. So these are the things we have discussed, and overall, including a previous session also, uh, I am mentioning the equivalent decimal, binary, octal, and all the number systems representations up to 20. So for decimal 0, it will be binary 0, and it will be octal 0 and hexadecimal 0. For decimal 1, it will be binary 1, octal 1, hexadecimal 1. For decimal 2, binary will be 1 0 and octal 2, hexadecimal 2. And for decimal 3, it will be binary 1 1, octal 3, hexadecimal 3, and for 4 the binary will be 100, octal and hexadecimal will be same, and this continues up to whatever you want. So I have written up to decimal 23. So for decimal 15 the binary equivalent will be, for decimal 15 the binary equivalent will be 4 ones, and for its corresponding octal number will be 17, and for its corresponding hexadecimal number will be f. And for decimal 16 you need a binary bit. How many number of binary bits we need in order to represent decimal 16? It will be 5, 1 4 zeros, and corresponding octal number will be 20, and corresponding hexadecimal number will be 10. So after f hexadecimal number you will be getting 10 as hexadecimal number. So all these things you can able to learn. Next, hexadecimal number system is used in all of the above. All are digital electronics. Hexadecimal number system is weighted code, option A, and somehow you can note it down on your own for practice purpose. Next we will see till now we have seen different types of number systems: decimal, binary, octal and hexadecimal number systems, and conversion from one number system to other number system, and all those things we have seen with examples, with detailed examples. Now we will move on to the other subtopic, that is uh, arithmetic operations on binary numbers. We'll mainly concentrate on arithmetic operations on binary numbers. That means what are the different arithmetic operations available: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So all the four operations, how to do all these things on binary numbers, we'll be able to learn in this. And also we will see some other things apart from arithmetic operations, that is ones and twos complement of a binary number, which are very much useful during subtraction of two binary numbers. So the main objective of this session is to perform arithmetic operations on binary numbers: binary addition, binary subtraction, binary multiplication and binary division. And also we will mainly concentrate on ones and twos complement of a binary number. We have already seen all these things. So next we will move on to the first arithmetic operation, that is binary addition. So before discussing this binary addition, first what are the binary numbers available? In binary number system only two possible numbers are available, that is 1 and 0. So for addition also you need minimum of 2. So whether you can add 0 with 0 or 0 with 1 or 1 with 0 or 1 with 1. So there are only four possible combinations pertaining to this binary addition. So first one is 0 plus 0, which is equal to 0, and 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1, and 1 plus 0 also equal to 1, and 1 plus 1. So when you come to this fourth combination, that is 1 plus 1, in the case of decimal number system 1 plus 1 will be equal to 2. So that 2, if you are converting that into binary, it will become 1 0. Are you understanding? So 1 plus 1 will be equal to 1 0. 0 will be in the sum and 1 will be carried forward to the next subsequent bit. We will see with example how to carry forward all those things. This one. So this is the main binary addition concept. 0 plus 0 will give you 0, 0 plus 1 will give you 1, and 1 plus 0 will give you 1, and 1 plus 1 will be I can say sum is 0 and carry will be 1. I can say sum is 0 and carry will be 1. So every time when you are adding the two numbers, if some carry is generated, that will be forwarded to next subsequent digit. That's the meaning of carry. Okay, so based on this four uh, what you can say uh, rules, you can do the binary addition of two binary numbers. So as an example, I am considering the two binary numbers like this. The first binary number is 1100 and the second binary number is 1110. So how to add these two binary numbers? So first you need to add this 0 with 0, and result will be what? 0 plus 0 will give you 0, and carry will be again 0. Carry will be forwarded to the next subsequent digit, and after that first 0 0 will be added, sum will be 0 and carry will be 0, and next these two second subsequent bits will be added. 0 plus 1 will give you 1, sum as 1 and carry will be 0, and next 1 plus 1 is there, that means 1 plus 1 means sum will be 0 and carry will be 1. That is the meaning of 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 0. In that 1 0, 0 will be put it in sum and 1 will be forwarded as carry to the next subsequent bit. Okay, so next after that three ones will be added. So whenever you are considering three ones addition, first if you are considering decimal number system, it will be 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is equal to 3 in the case of decimal addition. So you need to convert that 3 decimal to binary, which is nothing but 1 1. 1 1 means in the case of 1 1, sum will be 1 as well as carry is also 1. So that's why you need to write two ones. So the result will be 1 1 0 1 0. The last one happens to be the carry bit. The last one happens to be the carry bit. That carry is not forwarded to next subsequent bit because there is no next subsequent digit or bit. That's why one will be appended in the result. One will be added at last in the result. Again, if you observe the one more example, 0 plus 0 will be 0 and carry will be 0, and 0 plus 1 will be 1 and carry will be 0. 1 plus 0 will be 1 and carry will be 0. 1 plus 1 will be 0 and carry will be 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 will be 1 1. So that is how you need to perform the addition of two binary numbers. I repeat, once again, for the addition of two binary numbers, these are the four rules you need to follow. First, 0 plus 0 will be sum 0 and carry 0, and 0 plus 1 will be sum 1 and carry 0, and 1 plus 0 will be sum 1 and carry 0, and 1 plus 1 will be sum 0 and carry 1. So these are the four rules you need to adopt while doing any addition of two binary numbers. Next, we will move on to binary subtraction. Next, we will move on to binary subtraction. In the case of binary subtraction, again four rules. Since you are having only two numbers, 0 and 1, it will be 0 minus 0, which will be 0, and 1 minus 0, that is also 1 minus 0, it will be 1, sorry. So 1 minus 0 will become 1, and 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0, and 0 minus 1. So you cannot subtract 1 from 0. That's why you need to take borrow from the next bit. In the case of addition, you need to carry forward the bit, and in the case of subtraction you need to take borrow from the next subsequent bit. That is the difference between addition and subtraction. So whenever you are performing 0 minus 1, you need to take borrow from the next subsequent bit. So when you are taking borrow, it will become 2. 2 in the sense, in the case of binary, that will be 1 0. So 2 minus 1, that will be 1 with borrow 1. Okay, so this is nothing but binary subtraction. So I am considering two numbers 1101 and 1010, how to do subtraction. First 10 will be subtracted, 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0 will be 1, and 0 minus 1. So 0 minus 1 means I need to take borrow, so it will be 2 minus 1, 1 will be there. Whenever I am taking borrow, here you will be having 0, so 0 minus 0, 0, and 1 minus 1, 0. So the subtraction of 1101 with 1010 will give you 0011. So if you observe, if you consider the decimal equivalent of the binary numbers, so for the binary number 1101, what is its decimal equivalent? It will be 8 plus 4 plus 1, that is nothing but 13. Okay, and next, what is the decimal equivalent of 1010? That will be 8 plus 2, which is nothing but 10. So if you subtract these two decimal numbers, what is the resultant you are getting? Will be 3. So correspondingly, the decimal number for 0011 will be equal to 3. So this is the procedure of checking whatever the procedure you have adopted for subtraction of two binary numbers, whether it is correct or not. You can check like this with the help of conversion of binary numbers into decimal numbers. Next we will concentrate on another arithmetic operation on binary numbers, that is binary multiplication. So in the case of binary multiplication, again the four rules: 0 into 0 will be 0, and 0 into 1 will be 0, 1 into 0 will be 0, and 1 into 1 will be only equal to 1. So remaining all combinations, the result is 0, and for last combination the result is 1. So this is binary multiplication. We will see one example. So 1110, I am multiplying it with 1011, and first, again the same concept that we have used for multiplication of two decimal numbers, same concept I will be adopting here. First, take this last one, multiply this one with the whole, so that we will be getting like this 1110, and again second, that is also 1110, and the third one is 0. So when you are multiplying 0 with the whole thing, then you will be getting all zeros, and last one, since it is 1, again 1110. After that, adding continuously. So first bit will be 0, and second bit will be 1, and 1 plus 1, it will be 0, and 1, and 3 ones, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. So this is the result. 1001, 1010 is the result of the two multiplication of two binary numbers, 1110 with 1011. Whatever the procedure you are adopting for the case of multiplication of two decimal numbers, the same procedure you need to adopt here. In the multiplication of two decimal numbers, you will be having the numbers having digits from 0 to 9, whereas in the case of multiplication of two binary numbers, you will be having the bits only, that is 0, you will be having only two bits, that is 0 and 1. That is the only difference. Rest of the procedure will be same. Next we will see the multiplication of again one more example, 1011 with 101. Again the same procedure, 1011 will be multiplied with 101. So first bit is 1, so that means 1011. After that, 0 means all zeros. After that, 1 means again 1011, adding the 3 will give you what? 1 1 1 0 1 again 1, so again 1, so it will be 111011. So the answer will be 111011 is the addition of multiplication of two binary numbers 1011 with 101. So same procedure. You can also verify it with decimal numbers. So the corresponding for 1011, the decimal will be 8 plus 2 plus 1, that will be 11, into 101 means 5, so 11 into 5 will be equal to 55. So 55 means this corresponding decimal will be 55. It will be 32 plus 16 plus, after that 8 will be 0, will be 4 plus 2 plus 1, that will be 7, which is equal to 755. So this is how you can check with respect to converting the decimal binary into decimal numbers, and verifying whether whatever the procedure you are adopting is correct or not. Next we will see binary division. Same procedure as we did for decimal number division of two decimal numbers. That same procedure will be adopted even for this binary number division. Again I am considering the two numbers. It will be triple one, dividend is 4 ones and divisor is 2 ones. Procedure will be again, it will be 1 with 11, so that will become 0 1, again one more 1 will be there, it will become 1 1, again 101. So lastly the remainder will be 0 0, and whatever the quotient you are getting 101, that will become the result. So again you can also compare this with decimal numbers. The decimal corresponding to 4 ones will be 15, and by 1 1 means 3, that is equal to 5. The quotient will be 5, and the 101 stands for decimal 5. So in this way you can also verify whatever the uh, division you have adopted, procedure of division you have adopted for decimal numbers, binary numbers, is it correct or not. So these are the four arithmetic operations on binary numbers. The first one is binary addition. The rules are 0 plus 0 0, 0 plus 1 1, 1 plus 0 1, and 1 plus 1 1 0. And similarly binary subtraction, 0 minus 0 0, 1 minus 0 1, 1 minus 1 0, and 0 minus 1 will be 1. Next, similarly we will see there are different representations of binary numbers. Like if you want to represent the negative numbers or positive numbers, how to represent the negative number and positive number in binary. So this is nothing but representation of a binary number. There are different forms. The first one is signed magnitude form, second one is ones complement representation, and second one is ones complement representation, and the third one is two's complement representation. So these are the three different ways of representing a binary number, both positive binary number as well as negative binary number. Okay, so first we will see sign magnitude representation. So in sign magnitude representation, what is the procedure? Always the MSB of binary number represents sign. MSB, most significant bit of that binary number, always represents the sign That's why it is called sign magnitude representation. Okay, so if MSB is 0, then it represents positive value. If MSB is 1, then it represents negative value. Okay, so this is the procedure it is adopting in order to represent both positive binary numbers as well as negative binary numbers. So whether to know the binary number as positive or negative in the case of the sign magnitude representation, first you need to know its MSB, most significant bit. If most significant bit is 0, then you can say that the given binary number is a positive number. If MSB bit is 1, then you can say that the given binary number is a negative number. Example, a 6-bit sign magnitude representation of plus 5 and minus 5 we will see. 5 means you can able to represent as 101 directly, but in order to represent its sign also I am considering 6-bit representation. So 6-bit means it will be 000101 for plus 5 and 100101 for minus 5. Okay, so in the example you can clearly say that its magnitude is 00101, that is representing 5, and for sign it will be MSB bit. MSB bit should be 0 for positive number and 1 for negative number. So how to represent a plus 5? It will be 000101 as plus 5 and 100101 as minus 5. So this is how you can represent the both positive binary numbers as well as negative binary numbers by using this sign magnitude representation. There are some disadvantages or difficulties while representing the binary numbers using this representation, sign magnitude representation, because when you want to represent 0, whether I need to append 0 or 1 as MSB. Same example I am considering using 6-bit sign magnitude, there are two representations for zeros. If you want to represent plus 0 and minus 0, actually there should not be any plus 0 or minus 0, there will be only 0. Okay, so you cannot represent 0 exactly in the case of this sign by using this sign magnitude representation. That is the main disadvantage of sign magnitude representation. That's why we are moving from sign magnitude representation to other representations, that is ones complement representation and twos complement representation. Coming to the ones complement representation of binary number, so in the case of ones complement in the sense making ones as zeros and zeros as ones, that is the meaning of complement. It is inversion. So changing ones into zeros and zeros into ones will give you ones complement of a given binary number. For example, I am considering the binary number as 1000 and its ones complement will give you what? 0111. Simply changing ones into zeros and zeros into ones will give you the ones complement representation of a given binary number. Next we will move on to twos complement. So twos complement representation of a binary number is the most popular used scheme of representation. Whenever you want to represent a negative number, always any microprocessor or microcontrollers uses representing the negative numbers uses by using this method, twos complement representation. So always any microprocessor based system or microcontroller based systems uses twos complement representation in order to represent any negative numbers. No special rules are there. So first, what is the procedure of finding out the twos complement of a given binary number? First, you need to do ones complement to the given binary number. After doing ones complement of the given binary number, you have to add 1 to that ones complement, so that you will be getting the corresponding twos complement of a given binary number. We will see the procedure. Twos complement is the number that results when we add 1 to the ones complement. So twos complement will be equal to ones complement number plus 1 will result into twos complement. We will see with an example. For example, I am considering the binary number as 1011. First, you need to do ones complement to this binary number, which is nothing but 0100. To this 0100, you need to add 1, and which will become 0101. So this 0101 will be the 2's complement of 1011. I repeat once again. So 2's complement can be find out as uh, adding 1 to the 1's complement of the binary number. So given a binary number, first you need to find out its 1's complement, and after finding out its 1's complement, add 1 to the 1's complement number, so that the resultant will give you the 2's complement number of a given binary number. So this is the procedure of finding out 2's complement of a given number. In complementary notation, so if you are if you are taking positive number, and if you are doing 2's complement of that positive number, you will be getting the negative number of that. Similarly, if you are taking negative number and you are doing 2's complement of that, you are again getting positive number. We will see with an example. For example, I am considering plus 5 as binary number, and you are doing 2's complement to this. What will happen? Plus 5, that means 000101. To this, first you need to do 1's complement, that is 111010. To this, add 1. The resulting will be what? 111011, which is nothing but minus 5. So for positive number, if you are doing 2's complement, you will be getting negative number. And in a similar manner, again, if you are doing 2's complement to the negative number, we will see what will happen. So for minus 5, you are doing 2's complement. So for doing 2's complement, first you need to do 1's complement, that is 000100. To this, add 1, you will be getting 000101, which is nothing but again plus 5. So if you are doing 2's complement to a negative number, again you will be getting positive number. So representing a positive and negative number with the help of 2's complement representation is very easier compared to the sign magnitude or 1's complement representation. That's why this 2's complement representation of binary numbers is the main is used mainly in all the microprocessor or microcontroller based systems nowadays. And summary, we have learned all the binary arithmetic operations, that is binary addition, binary subtraction, binary multiplication, and binary division. And also we have seen the representation of binary numbers using various methods, that is sign magnitude, 1's complement and 2's complement of binary number. Thank you for listening.